Hello everyone. Today I would like to show you how easy it is using a stencil, some really good quality smooth watercolor paper, as well as some modeling paste and all-purpose inks to create a gorgeous background for anything that you want to use. First off, I am securing my background paper to a craft sheet with some masking or stencil tape. I am then applying a generous portion of modeling paste through the stencil. The applicator tool that I'm using here is a metal one from Dreamweavers. I don't think it's available anymore, but you can use any spatula or silicone tool that you have available. I would like to point out that you should not do what I did there and put the leftovers back into the tub unless you are going to use it soon. Next up, I'm taking the edges that were sharp and I'm just kind of squishing them in with my plastic palette knife. I really like my plastic palette knife, and you can see there is the result after air drying overnight. Next up, I'm going to choose my colors of all-purpose ink that I want to use, and I'm going to be applying the ink with a dropper. So the Vegas Gold is one of the most amazing golds available, and then I've got Midnight, and I've got Wisteria, and I've got Apple Green there. So I am misting this background paper really, really well. It's watercolor paper, so it can handle being wet. And then I start with the lightest color, simply applying small drops here and there. You can see that I'm trying to get the leaves green and then to the flowers. And then once I've applied all three colors, I'm going to mist it again. Now I'm using a little blower tool here that I bought it in the baby section at Clicks. But you can use your alcohol ink blower. You can use a straw to get a stronger blow. You can really use whatever you want to use to move the ink around. Now I'm blotting the excess because some of that will be creating mud if I leave it too long. I'm also placing a paper towel directly onto it, and remember, all-purpose inks will always dry a lot lighter than what it looks when it is wet. Now I am just giving this an air dry with my heat tool. I am not drying it completely. So after this was completely dry, I took my Vegas Gold and I simply applied it with a wet watercolor brush, and then I misted it as well to help it move around on my project. So this gold is truly a fantastic product. The shimmer pigment goes and sits right at the top of your project, and it moves around beautifully. You can apply it as thick or as thin as you want, and I leave this to dry naturally. I'm moving my ink around a little bit to get some fun effects, and then I'm going to leave it to dry completely naturally. You can go back in, you can add some more details here and there where you would like them. Once again, I'm literally just drying this to the touch so that it won't bleed or blend any further. You can, of course, if you've got a slow drying tool, you can dry it, but I do recommend that you make sure that you don't cook your paste. Okay, so I just don't want it to be wet anymore when I leave it to dry. This is a very good quality paper, so it can handle water as well as heat well. And there you go. So it's up to you what you create with this. I hope you enjoyed this small tutorial.